someone sort of said, how has your life changed after Drag Race?
Really hasn't changed at all. Isn't that weird?
Have you seen a sort of an increase in bookings or anything like that?
A little bit, but not really. It's really weird. I thought there would be a lot more, but they're not really. It's weird.
Okay, well, I guess it pushes you to an audience that maybe wouldn't have seen you otherwise, especially an international audience.
Well, this is the thing, because I do have a one-woman show that I want to take to separate around Australia. That will be the telling sign when I go to do that, if people buy tickets to come and see it.
Yeah, and I guess also if they when they do the Drag Race, like Drag Con and the different tours and stuff, obviously I'm assuming you'll be invited to do that, and that's obviously an extra booking that you wouldn't have got otherwise.
Well, this is the thing, is that because they've put season 1 and 2 together, I've only got to do half the tour. So that's what I mean about it's been sort of almost like we've missed an opportunity because of COVID. So the tour's on at the moment, I'm just not in it.
Right. Well, obviously we hope that we will see you in some other form. Someone actually, this kind of feeds into it. Another question was, would you come back for an All-Stars season?
Yeah, I would love to, actually, because I felt like there was all this baggage that other people were bringing in, where if we did an all-star season, I don't think that would happen.
I always think with Queens, the first season they're on is almost like a warm-up and people getting to know you, and then All-Stars is when they already know you and you can kind of show a bit more sides to you than you had a chance on the first one.
Yeah, and I think with someone like me, and I think the audience can tell that there's so much more to the person, because I think a lot of people were sad to see me leave the show. I think the show lost something when I left.
I agree.
I added something, even if I wasn't involved. There was something about my energy in that room that created something in the show.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think when you left, it was definitely, there was a void, and I guess they tried to fill that with Beverly, but then she obviously left as well. So they always try and fill that void of who's bringing the drama or who's doing that, but they don't show any of the good side of you actually being really caring and nurturing and things like that, because that doesn't make good TV.
No, it doesn't, which I get.
Someone else asked, and we kind of touched on this a little bit earlier, someone said, a huge part of drag culture is being able to read your peers, especially your friends. Do you feel age is off limits for you? And if so, why?
No, I don't think age is off limits to read me, as long as it's clever.
Okay, I think that's fair.
Yeah, as long as it's clever. Like, even we made a joke in our, when Ruth said she was on the Titanic and I worked in the gallows. Like, I can make jokes. Do you know what was it? Beverly and I thought it might have been funny if we were together in the roast. How different, because we could have made young and old jokes together, actually, which could have been quite fun.
Yeah, and I think like most people say, you can make almost anything funny as long as it is funny. You can make a joke about something as long as it's funny.
Yeah, if it's cruel, there's a difference between funny and cruel. If I'm not laughing, then it's not funny.
Yeah,
like Spanky made the joke about not being touched for a long time. Like, that to me was really, really funny.
Yeah, self-deprecating humor is also a lot easier because I guess you're the target yourself, and it's easier to make fun of yourself because you're not offending anyone else.
Yes, that's right. Because one of my favourite roast joke was for Hannah. I said, "Oh, you've done great work the last 2 years. It's more than I can say for your plastic surgeon."
Yeah, and I can imagine. I would think that because Hannah's got a good sense of humor, I'd like to think that she would think that was funny.
Yeah, she would think that was funny. What was another one? I'm trying to think. Aubrey's one was good, but she'd left by the time, because it was actually Yuri had mentioned about her makeup being a bit ashy, and I went, "Oh, that's a joke there." And I said, "Oh, I know we have a lot of raging bushfires down under, but I don't understand why your makeup's so ashy." So it's been clever with
those jokes. That's a typical roast or read in the reading challenge. So I think that's what you would have played the reading challenge.
Yeah, I think I would have. I actually think I would have won the reading challenge, to be honest.
I think you would have done as well, because everyone would have been too scared of the mini curse to try and go up against you.
The mini curse, it was so funny. So funny.
That whole mini curse thing. Did you know about when they were talking about that, or did you only find that out once you watched the show?
I'm not going to be another part of Minnie's catalyst, because any queen that Minnie fights goes home. I'm not part of that narrative. Not me.
I only found out that, and it only happened in the episode really I left, wasn't it? I only found out about that when the show aired, actually.
And what did you think about that? Did you think it was funny? And did you sort of see...
Well, I did say, and they didn't show this, I said, oh, it seems to be everybody I have conflict with goes home. So I was aware of it as well.
Yeah, I think it was funny, and it made you memorable. And like you said, people kept mentioning you even after you left, and that obviously speaks volumes.
Yeah, I think so as well. Like every episode, there wasn't an episode that went past where I wasn't mentioned.
So that's good, I guess. You know.
Oh yeah, I'm happy with that. It means you're still on people's minds.
And someone else asked, what moment are you most proud of and least proud of on the show?
The moment I'm most proud of is the AIDS dress. It's the one I'm most proud of. And the moment I'm least proud of is speaking about Beverly in front of Rue.
Okay. Yeah. I think that's, like you said, that was one of the moments I was slightly confused because I felt like it came across like you said it out of nowhere, but I could understand that you probably didn't even think about it in the moment.
Yeah, well, it looks like it comes out of nowhere, but Beverly and I had spoken about it in the morning at the morning table because they were holding me to account of talking behind Pamara's back. And I was like, you can't hold me accountable for talking about behind Pamara's back, and that's exactly what you're doing right now. Because we all talk, that was the thing that every drag queen talks about everyone, but I seem to have got held to this standard of talking about, because I'm Minnie Cooper and I'm 50, you don't get to do those things that we as all young kids get to do in the confessionals. That was my whole point. And then I realised Beverly wasn't one of those people, which made me feel really bad.
Yeah, there's definitely, I think people have very double standards about what's okay and what isn't okay, depending on if you're young or old or what type of queen you are. And
yeah,
it's
and it looks like I had those double standards as well, because it was like, here I was saying to, who was I saying to? Pamara and Aubrey, because they were talking literally behind my back. I was like, that's not acceptable. You can't talk about me while I'm there. That's a bit different. And I think in a private conversation, that's different, but I don't know. Maybe that's just me. We all do it. And
at the end of the day, it's a TV show. They want you to do that sort of thing. They deliberately don't let you talk to each other. They take away your phones. They isolate you because they want you to be annoyed or whatever, because it makes good TV.
And they achieved it with me in tenfold.
Well, I think we all agree that we would love to see you for an All-Stars or something, because I think it would be a great opportunity for you to show yourself again without having, like you said, the baggage and the narrative that you had on the first season, because everyone already knows that about you now.
Yeah, totally. And what was the other thing? And we wouldn't, because, we were in isolation. I was in an isolation a month before I even started filming. So that's a long time to be by yourself.
I can't imagine what that must be like, especially for the Australian queens, because you obviously all had to fly over to New Zealand to film, and you then had a longer quarantine and everything. That's insane.
It's insane.
And someone else asked, what was the biggest lesson you learned from your experience on Drag Race?
What was the biggest lesson that I've learned? To think before I speak.
I think we can all understand that, and I think everyone probably could have, at some point in their life, has said something that they shouldn't have said, but it wasn't on camera on national TV.
And I think what I get out of Drag Race is that we're all human and we all make mistakes. Like every person, this is what sort of the big realization I've got out of Drag Race, is that everybody makes mistakes. Every single person in that room made a mistake. Not just me, but for some reason Beverly and I got held more accountable than everybody else for some reason.
True, definitely true. And that's unfair in a lot of ways. But I think, yeah, that's why I really appreciated you, because I almost felt like you were given the villain edit, but then I could tell that wasn't really what you're actually like. So it was an interesting dynamic. But ultimately, It's a TV show. It's a TV show.
Yeah, and I get that as well.